Welcome, Skyhawks, to Virtual Wellness Wednesday. Today, we will talk about a tool that we can use to help us de-stress. Now that we're at home, some of us miss our friends, routines, getting out of the house. We're also trying to keep up with distance learning all while staying indoors with no real place to go. This can lead to some stress. Not to say that we maybe didn't experience stress before, but now we have a different source of stress. So the best thing that we can do is look for a healthy and free tool that we can use to help us relieve some of that stress. This is where mindfulness comes into play. It's something that is free and scientifically proven to help reduce stress. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. What this means is that we are paying attention with purpose in the present moment without worrying whether you're doing it right or wrong. And this may sound a little abstract, but once we practice it, you'll understand what that means. Essentially, mindfulness asks for us to be present, to notice the thoughts coming and going through our mind, and to be aware of how we are breathing as we are in the moment. Try not to worry about yesterday, tomorrow, or all of the other stressors that happen. Try to focus on the here and now, this moment now, right now, as the moment unfolds. After learning how to use mindfulness, you can practice it anywhere, at any time. Sitting up or laying down with your eyes open or closed. And you can even do it without others around you knowing that you're doing it. You have to practice it for at least 5 minutes to feel the benefits of it. Ideally, you want to aim for at least 10 minutes, but at least 5 minutes. If you practice it the first time and feel that it didn't really help you, keep trying. Don't give up. The more you practice it, the better you will get at it. The easier it will be, and you will see the benefits. So what are some of the actual benefits to mindfulness? It helps to reduce or eliminate feelings of stress altogether. But what is stress? It's a hormone that we produce when we experience stressful situations or memories. It's called cortisol. Mindfulness helps us to reduce the hormone production or to change the way our brain perceives and responds to the hormone cortisol. It's a similar technique used by the Navy SEALs for training because they're under constant threats of stress and they need to be able to carry out tasks even under extreme stress. It's a great coping skill. What that means is that it's an excellent and healthy way to release feelings of anger, anxiety, frustration, and more. It's also empirically researched and scientifically based, and what that means is that scientific researchers have proven using brain scans like MRIs and fMRIs, and also by measuring cortisol hormones using cotton swabs and saliva samples present, that mindfulness can actually prove it works. Mindfulness works, and it's scientifically proven to work to reduce the stress. So before and after mindfulness, there was shown a reduction in cortisol. When they're looking at the brain scans, there's a reduction in cortisol, and also there's a change in the circuitry or the way in our brain is processing stress. So mindfulness is scientifically proven to work, and not to mention it's free. There are many resources, guides, and courses online that are free. Some courses you do have to pay for. Let's say if you wanted to take the online course through UCLA, but there are also free courses. The wonderful thing about mindfulness is that it's a gift. Once you learn mindfulness, truly learn how to use it, you can then give that gift to someone else and show them how to use it. They will thank you for it. Trust me. So what does mindfulness entail, really? What activities can you do with mindfulness? Is mindfulness just one thing? Is it many things? Sounds a little abstract so far. Well, here's a list of different activities that can be done integrating mindfulness. Deep breathing, there's an exercise that you can look up called 478. It's an excellent deep breathing exercise. You can do that using mindfulness. Grounding, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which essentially using mindfulness, you ground yourself. So this is really helpful if you're in the middle of, let's say, an anxiety attack and you need to ground yourself. So you look for 5 things you can see. You point out 5 things that you can see. Point out 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can feel, 2 things you can hear, 1 thing you can smell. And you can switch those. It can be 5 things you smell or 5 things you hear. It just has to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're practicing mindfulness, again, to ground you, to reduce the inflammation that's happening in your brain with the cortisol, to get your hemispheres to start speaking to each other again. That way we can reduce the behavior that's happening with the anxiety attack. The other thing you can do is use anchor imagery, progressive muscle relaxation. You can do feet to head. Body scan. Body scan is the activity that we're going to do today, actually. We'll get some practice with that. There's also positive self-talk and affirmations, meditation, yoga, and then automatic actions. You can always do mindfulness with automatic actions, simple actions that you do every day, like brushing your teeth or eating. And remember, what mindfulness is asking for is for you to be present in the moment without judgment, not focusing on anything other than what's happening in the here and now. So what that means is while you're brushing your teeth, not focusing on the homework that you have to turn in tomorrow or something that happened yesterday, focusing on that moment, you brushing your teeth, the sensations that you're feeling when you brush your teeth, the way the bristles feel on your teeth, the way the saliva feels. You're focusing on every sensation that you can at that present moment and nothing else. What's needed to practice mindfulness? What do I have to do? What do I have to bring? How do I practice it? Well, it's very non-striving, actually. This is a list of things that you should strive for when practicing it. So just things to keep in mind while you're practicing mindfulness. Be open to a new experience. You have to try it in order to truly understand what it means. You have to be curious about mindfulness, curious about the experience, non-judgmental. There's no right way to do it, no wrong way, nor good or bad. Non-striving, which means you're not doing something with a goal in mind. You have nothing to do. You have nowhere to go. Just be present. You're not supposed to sit there and do this and tell yourself, I have to do this until I'm less stressed or do this until I feel better. You're actually not supposed to strive. You're just supposed to be. There's awareness. So what that means is it's very difficult, especially in the beginning, to practice mindfulness without having thoughts come and go. The more that you practice it, the better you'll be able to block those thoughts out. But what mindfulness wants you to do is to notice these thoughts, acknowledge them, acknowledge the sensations that accompany these thoughts, and then let the thoughts go. It's a little different from meditation because meditation wants you to block the thoughts out. With mindfulness, it's okay if the thoughts come in. We don't want them to stay and linger. We need to push them out when they do come in. Notice that the thought came in and notice the thought leaving. We want all thoughts, all experiences, sensations, those things we have to pay attention to. Don't block these out. Things as simple as the way the breeze feels on the hairs of your neck. So we want to feel the most minute experiences all in the here and now. So here's where it gets fun and we get to practice mindfulness using a body scan. And this is for beginners. So you don't need any experience at all to practice this next activity. This is just one of the possibilities that you can do with mindfulness. You can refer back to that previous list there of other activities that you can do. But body scan is pretty helpful because you can do that virtually anywhere. You can do that in class, sitting there. You can do that in an airport, sitting down. You can do that sitting in the car, on a road trip. You can do it anywhere. As long as you have 5 to 10 minutes. And what do you need to do? So the first thing is to find a comfortable position, either sitting down with both feet on the ground or laying down. The easiest thing to do in the beginning anyway, until you get some more practice in, is to do this with your eyes closed. And when you close your eyes, you want to make sure that you are checking on your breathing, making sure that your breaths are deep, not shallow. So we're breathing with our stomach, not just with our chest. We want to make sure our stomach is actually moving. Remember that if your thoughts drift, that's okay. Notice that this happened and return back. If you feel like you need to fidget, you can tap your knee when you exhale, or tap your hand when you exhale. And try and keep your eyes closed. Continue practicing. If you don't feel it working, so to speak, just be patient. And let's begin. When we experience stress or pain, our natural reaction is for our body to produce cortisol, and many times it gets stored in our muscles. We can try to distract ourselves from the pain or the stress, and we can also try to resist it, but this may actually encourage us to produce more cortisol into our muscles, and then this causes us to tense our muscles and increase the feelings of stress and pain. So a body scan is a mindfulness practice, and it helps us ease the way our brain is processing stress. So try to focus on the present moment and be patient with the experience. If it doesn't help you to distress, keep trying or give it some more time. If you catch your thoughts drifting off, it is okay. Notice this and return back to the present. And focus on your breathing. Now relax and make sure that you find a place where you can sit up or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes and pay attention to your breathing. The way that your chest is rising and falling with every inhale and every exhale. The way that the breath feels on your nostrils, in your chest and your stomach. Breathing in, breathing out. Again, if other thoughts come in, it's okay. Notice this and come back to your breathing. Make sure that you're expanding your stomach. And keep breathing and bring your attention to your forehead. Relax your forehead. Soften the temples. Soften your eyes. Relax your jaw. Relax your lips. And then move down to your throat. Relax your throat. Release any stress or tension you feel in the back of your neck. Focus now on your left shoulder. Drop your shoulder slightly so that you can relax. Relax your upper arm, your bicep. Relax your elbow. Relax your forearm, your wrist, your hand, your palm, your fingers. Picture stress flowing out through your fingers. Remember to focus only on the sensations that you're feeling right now at this moment. And move your focus to your right shoulder and drop that shoulder slightly so that you can relax. And relax your upper arm, your bicep, your elbow, your forearm, your wrist, your palm, your hand, your fingers, and imagine any stress flowing out through your fingers. You can wiggle your fingers on your left and your right hands to release the stress. And continue your breathing, paying attention now to your stomach. Relax the muscles of your stomach, let them go. Keep breathing. If you have any thoughts coming in, notice this and come back, focusing on your breathing. And pay attention to the middle back and your lower back. If you feel any tension there, soften those areas, tighten and then release. Relax. Keep breathing. Focus now on your left leg, the upper thigh, the knee, the lower leg, the calf, the ankle, the top of your foot, the bottom of your foot, your toes. Feel any sensations in your toes, and if you're not feeling any sensations in your toes, note the lack of it. If you feel tension in your toes, soften the area, tighten those muscles, and release. If your thoughts are wandering off, gently come back. Notice that they wander off and gently come back, focusing on your breathing, feeling the way that the air enters your nostrils. Now release the tension or the stress in your left toes. Now pay attention to your right leg, the upper thigh, the knee, the lower leg, your calf, your ankle, the top of your foot, the bottom of your foot, your right toes. Notice any sensations or lack of sensations you may be feeling. If you feel stress and tense in your toes, soften them, squeeze those muscles and release. Pay attention again to your breathing. Feel the breath if you can. Feel it enter your nostrils. And bring awareness to your whole body, whether you're sitting up or lying down. Continue breathing, making sure that you're breathing with your stomach, your diaphragm. And if you have any thoughts enter, notice them and return back to focusing on your breathing. You have just finished the body scan, but you can do it again from head to toe if you feel a little stress still. But if you feel like the stress was released, you can go ahead and flutter your eyes open slowly. Wiggle your fingers in your right and your left hand. Wiggle your toes in your left and your right foot. Continue your breathing. And take in one deep breath on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And release. You have now completed your body scan. A body scan can help you recenter yourself. It can even bring attention to sensations you haven't noticed, like how it feels when the air you breathe enters the back of your throat. Mindfulness requires practice, but it isn't too difficult to do. Hopefully you enjoyed your body scan, but please feel free to try any other mindfulness technique. If you try this at least once per day or a couple times per week, I bet you will be glad that you did. With practice, you can release the pent-up feelings you might have in a safe and healthy way. Remember, if you need anything, We're just an email or a remind message away. Hope this video was useful. Pause this video and go back to anything that you missed. Be safe, be well, and soar. We will see you soon, Skyhawks.